Hey everybody, Brandy Flores here, and I am honored to be here interviewing Miss Marlen Esparza, who is an Olympian, professional boxer, record of 7-1 with one knockout, and hails from H-Town, Houston. Marlen, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm really good. Excited about this fight. So just ready to get it going. Start 2020 at the end of 2020, but we're ready.
Oh yeah, I bet. And so, I mean, speaking of 2020, with everything that's happened with this year with COVID-19, how have you been getting ready for this match, and how have you been training all year?
It was difficult in general just because everything was shut down, and as gyms were shut down, everything was just shut down, especially small gyms and boxing gyms. Luckily, my coach is owner of a more of like a 24-hour type thing.
Mm.
So with the gym on the side. So it didn't fall under the category of a boxing gym. It fell under the category of like a fitness gym. So they did get an earlier clearance to open up than the other gyms, which was helpful. And before then, we were really just training like in parks, trying to figure out what we could do that wouldn't go against anything that the CDC had to say, wearing the masks and everything. So it was different. It definitely was a change, and it was hard to kind of work around because we are a contact sport. So not being able to make contact was a difficult thing to begin with. But along with the sports comes challenges, and you have to overcome a lot mentally and a lot of adversities. So it's one of those things where it's like, here we go again, just another day, another issue that you have to take on and just try to do the best you can do. But me knowing that my opponents and everybody that's you know in my weight class has to do the same thing that I'm doing, it's always like, well, we're still in the same boat, and we're still on the same level, we're still on the same playing field. So it was difficult, but it was something that we learned to overcome quickly.
I mean, if anybody who knows boxing knows what happened to you last year, you got that gnarly headbutt, and you had that, it was pretty gnarly.
It was pretty bad. Yeah.
I, was,
It was pretty bad.
I watched the fight, and I just remember thinking, oh, how is she up right now? Like, I'd be passed out on the floor. But
I was wondering how I was up too. I was like, am I up? I see three, hit the one in the middle. So it was intense. Yeah.
yeah, and so I mean, this is your first fight back since then. So this fight, I mean, on top of being an eliminator fight, it means so much more to you. Can you kind of talk about that?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's funny in a way too, because I fought November 2nd and now I'm fighting October 30th. So it's really like a 3-day difference from when I actually fought. So it's a whole year. And now I'm back into another major fight. So we decided to not go an easier route and fight someone just as a tune-up because I've been out all year, which a lot of people are doing that. They just want an opponent that they can kind of just get the ring rust off. But as a team, we decided that we wanted to face someone difficult at the same level as me and bounce back from the year like we didn't lose the year. And since Sulem was also eager and willing to do this, I thought it was a perfect opportunity, perfect opponent, and I think she thinks the same about me. But since I came off that loss, I know her mindset going into this is a lot different than mine. She just wants to make sure that she gets this fight, she gets this win. But to me, this is everything to me. So I'm really proving a lot to myself, not really to anybody else. Yes, it's an eliminator. It's for the WBC, which is major. I feel like I'm holding a lot of weight as far as making sure I'm proving everybody correct that I am who they think I am. But in a whole, because I did take a loss that was very unexpected for me, both, mentally and emotionally and physically,
Mm.
it's something that to me holds so much more weight going forward than any other fight that could possibly even fathom at this point. And this is going to tell me, am I doing and am I who I think I am? And I know I am. So it's driving me a lot more than anything else would have, and it's giving me so much more passion for what I'm actually doing. Before I'm like, okay, I get in a boxing match and I'm like, tactics, tactics, tactics. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? But now it's like I feel like I'm a kid again, where I am smart enough to think, but I also have so much anger and so much that I need to prove that I feel like it's going to bring out the whole new Marlen I guess the Marlen that got me this far, really, because I've learned to kind of push down my emotions and think clearer with my head. But now I have a good balance, and I haven't felt this determined and this angry in a very, very long time.
Yeah, and I mean, they do say that sometimes you have to get knocked down. For you, it's a little bit more literal to get back up again. But I mean, for all the athletes who are watching out there to go through something like that, how did you get yourself mentally up, like with the positivity that you have now, to kind of channel that, disappointment, that anger, that frustration that you lost, to channel it into something productive and to come in like excited and ready to go?
It's just like exercising. It's a mindset. So for anybody who's really in that situation, in the ring or in sport or just in life, when things really get at you, like in life really brings you to your knees. At this point, it was that fight, and it changed everything about my vision. A team wise, personal life. It changed everything for me, that fight. And what I did basically was I treated it like I'm getting ready for a marathon. So when you start training for running, or when you start running, you have to like slowly, 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 gradually get to your end goal. And that's what it was mentally. Every day it was like being more positive. Every day I'm trying to turn that one major thought into a different thought, a more positive thought. Just really trying to understand my own self-talk and what this really means to me, and really trying to remind myself constantly of who I am. Because now with internet and social media, with being in such a big spotlight so quickly and having things go so wrong all in one day, it was a lot to take on. But at the same time, I had to remind myself, like, this is who I am. This is what I've dealt with all my life. Being a female in the boxing world, being the first to do this and that, those things weren't easy, but I forgot about it. I forgot how hard it was when I was doing it. So I really just had to bring back the emotions that I had growing up, when they told me I couldn't fight, when they told me I couldn't go to the games, when they told me I couldn't win, when they told me I was too small, when they told me I would never make a career out of boxing. All those emotions that I had to remind myself that I've already been through this. I've just been through it in different ways that I didn't remember.
That's very inspiring. I'm super excited for you to get back. I know boxing fans everywhere are really excited for this matchup, especially. So let's talk about your opponent a little bit, Salim Rubina.
I think she's a great opponent. I've always had tons of respect for her. We have a few things in common. We've known each other since we were younger. We've fought a few times in the amateurs, I think 4 times or something like that in the amateurs. My feelings towards her is she's an opponent, a very worthy opponent, someone that I do need to, be on my P's and Q's with. She's not someone you play around with.
When it comes to opponents who, like you said, you respect her, but you have to beat her. So how do you kind of channel that? Do you just like exclude all outside things, and do you just study how she boxes and just make sure that you're on the right side, whether it's defense or attacking early?
I think, again, she's a good fighter. She's someone who's good, someone that knows what they're doing, someone that is dangerous. It helps you be a better fighter. It helps me be a better fighter, because I'm not sitting there thinking, well, if she throws something at me, I'll figure it out. I'm not going to go in there like that. It's like, okay, this girl's serious and she's game, I'm game. And it's really, it gets more intense for me, and the point of like, I start to shut down, because I know 5 days out, 4 days out, 5 days out, I'm going to try to hurt somebody. 4 days out, I'm getting closer. 3 days out, I have to turn into a very cold person. And that is the way for me to really win these fights. I start to make sure that we have the game plan. We know what we're doing. We know how she moves. I have to anticipate that she knows how I move. And it's a whole video game, plus it being like, hey, someone's going to die today, and I got to be okay with that, and nobody's afraid. And hey, and you got to get cold. You got to get cold.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with this sport. I mean, well, thank you so much. I think everybody's so excited to see you fight again. I'm super excited. Thank you so much.
I'm excited too. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much. And then you can catch Marlen October 30th. She's going to be at Fantasy Springs, but you cannot be there. So go and stream it on DAZN.com. It's going to be exclusively there. Thank you so much for joining us. I really, really appreciate your time, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.